I have been single for a long time, so I have gained feelings for some female friends in this single journey. How can I get rid of feelings for other women when I meet the one God has for me? Well, it's going to be very hard for you to drain feelings the day before or the day of meeting the one if you are still flirting with, entertaining other women. It's going to be destructive because what's going to happen is you're going to have to hurt these girls to be with this girl. And then who knows what type of experience you had with these girls that's going to make it kind of complicated with this girl because the one may not do what they do. Right? So now you got to transform or transition your feelings to fulfilling. Instead of being around women, instead of being kind of idle in your singleness, you got to be intentional in your singleness. You got to say, hey, if I'm going to be single, I'm going to be single. And yes, you're going to be attracted to women as you navigate this single journey, but you shouldn't be navigating this single journey idle and just open. You have to be intentional in your singleness to reap the potential from your singleness. See, if you're not intentional in your singleness, you will not reap the potential or become to or tap into the full potential of who you need to be before you even meet the person. See, you have to get rid of all of them and then be okay with having no one, then becoming the one for the one you want. Because if you keep entertaining these girls, it's only going to create confusion. It's only going to create comparison. And I promise you, God is not going to bring someone to ride along in life with you if somebody else is still sitting in that seat. God is looking for vacancies. You got to create a vacant spot for God to take that spot. You got to live life as if that seat is already taken. So if you know it's already taken, keep it vacant. If you already know it's taken with the one that God has on his God green earth, you keep the seat vacant because you trust that it's taken. Because if it's not vacant, then it's going to be a blatant sign that you ain't nowhere close to the time of meeting God's divinely appointed person for you. So what I say is start cutting them off, especially because obviously these girls ain't the one because you a hunter. We're men, we hunt. And I obviously could tell that these young ladies you have no interest in as far as marriage because you would have made one of them the one by now. So you might as well go ahead and cut them off and remove your feelings for them and then channel those feelings into fulfilling, getting your hands active in your purpose, because I promise you, the quickest path to meeting your person is through the immersion of your purpose that is immersed in the presence of God and you being content with that. And then you'll begin to find God orchestrating things quickly on behalf of you because that taken is vacant. And nobody else can get in that spot except the one that God has for you. Hope to help. And don't allow how long you've been single to force you to mingle. But you have to assess yourself and ask yourself, am I the reason why I'm still single this long? Because one thing about God, God is not obligated to stick with his time frame. God has a perfect will for you. But because we have free will in us, God is not obligated. There's a date that you are supposed to meet the one, or there was a date that you were supposed to meet the one. And if your heart is immersed in your own plan, using your free will to be willy-nilly all throughout life, you're going to lengthen your single season, which is going to cause you to commit treason with God because you're going to be like, God is not looking out for me. But the real question is, are you looking out for you? So some of us, or some people, all of us could be in seasons longer than we should have been. But if we become more aware and we become more in alignment, then we'll see seasons shrinking and then we'll be having things quicker than we ever had desire before because we'll be not like the children of Israel. We'll get there in 11 days instead of traveling around the same mountain for 40 years. What mountain are you still walking around when God's promised land is 11 days this way, 11 months this way? Don't take something that you could have had in 11 months and you don't get into 11 years because you're walking around the same mountain. Hope to help.